Good morning. It's August 17th. And since I didn't take my usual walk along the creek on Monday, I was kind of along the lake, but not along the creek. That's what I'm going to do today, just some variation on that. It's cloudy. It's about 22 degrees, so it's fairly warm already. Some small risk of showers, but hopefully it doesn't affect this walk. And yeah. And not much to talk about otherwise. Still editing away on stuff. And we'll continue to do so. Got another poetry book that I need to get by Belinda Betker, which was originally published by Coteau Books, which went bankrupt. She's revised it a bit, and Chautauqua Press will be bringing it out, and it's going to be featured in Saskatchewan Book Week, so got to get that out because that's coming up. So that might actually get out ahead of my essay collection by Lloyd LaPretzoff that I thought would be my next one. That one's called The Crow Who Tampered with Time, and was again a notable previously published book. Through my Chautauqua Press Reprise category, imprint. It's the premier imprint for new stuff, which will have the new anthology with Shapers of Worlds Volume 3 and Thickwood and the Emir's Falcon are the three coming out under that imprint this fall. Meanwhile, I continue to, try to figure out the best way to do things. Even though it's so warm, it's pleasant, very pleasant with the breeze because there's no sun, so you don't get that sort of hot touch of the sun. Quite a nice temperature. There's often a camper parked here. It always surprises me to see car lights like you can maybe glimpse up there. They look like they're on top of the dike, but they're actually on the other side of the river where the land is higher. Obviously, on the other side there isn't a dike, so I climb up the dike here, but on the other side they're more or less at a level. And it might be a bit of a climb over there, so the way that the trees kind of pile up ahead there is because it does go uphill a little bit. Barely noticeable, but not noticeable. Or a spin. Usually means there's some work going on somewhere around here. Probably in that house to my left. Can't see it obviously though. Alright, up onto the dike. Over to the footbridge. See the sun over there, somewhat dramatic skies this morning. Land of living skies and all that. Looks like blue sky over there though, so I suspect the sun's going to find me before I finish the walk. Maybe. Depends on how fast the cloud cover's moving. What will we see first? Someone with or someone without a dog? I guarantee we will see someone with a dog on this walk. For my name isn't Edward Willett, and it is. It's that lush little bit of garden down there. Got peak sunflower time here. Little standalone tree that's always so pretty when it blooms in the spring. Doesn't last very long, but it's pretty while it lasts. I'm actually surprised I haven't already encountered somebody with a dog. It's recycling day. There's the recyclers recycling. Go picking up recycling. City recycling program. I had to, because our backyard is torn up, there's no good way through it. I had to put all the recycling in the car and drive it around to the back alley last night and put it in our bin. Okay, got all the pipes underground again over here. At one point, oh, there we go, first dog. I knew there'd be one. Stop here and get a look at the creek. Looking to the east. Quite still today, and you can see a little bit of movement in the water, so a little bit of breeze. It's not as still as some days. Looking west. Squirrel in that tree. There he is. Ran around to the other side when he saw me. That little thing there is from the city. That's where they monitor mosquito populations, is with those little mosquito traps, insect traps. Oh, here's our second dog. It was a very safe bet. Morning. Very safe bet we would see dogs. There's more cloud over in the west than I was seeing before when I just saw that patch of blue, so it's not going to clear off yet, completely anyway. Depends on which way things are moving. Bicycles. Yes, stay on your side. Sprinklers going over there. Yeah, and my assumption is always that they take water right out of the creek for some of that stuff around here. Waterfall Park down there. I think I'll follow it today. Maybe I'll take the wooded path over here today, since I took the wooded path down by the lake on Monday. This one is not as jungly. Should be able to get onto it right up here somewhere. Hopefully it's not too mosquito-y either. Yeah, here we go. Oof, poop, 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 poop. Not as well defined as the one I was on, though. You don't get bikers coming along here as much. It's very tall grasses and weeds. You can see berries starting to show up here on the trees, on the chokecherry bushes. I assume those are chokecherries. They're called that because you don't want to eat them. Well, you'll choke. That's always been my assumption. Oh, look, we found the main road again, but we're going to ignore it. Plunge back into the wilderness here. More chokecherries. All these bushes along here have berries on them now. Another sign of summer getting old and the autumn in sight. Only a month away, really. More than a month. Now, vehicles obviously come down here probably to get to that thing. As you can see, vehicle tracks here. There's the path again. Again, we ignore it and take the path less traveled by. That makes all the difference. This is where, if you're riding your bike, you want to keep low. And I don't quite clear it comfortably at 6'2". Oh, and then it's like, the path is pretty much gone here. I'm just in the grass. It's still there, but the grass is reaching for it. Well, I'm doing my bit. So this is where we're really close to the creek here. Carry on, carry on. There it opens up again. More berries, berries. Every one of those bushes to my left is bearing berries. This is where, if you're not careful, you could possibly tumble down into the water. Lots of flowers along here. I don't know why some bits of it are quite well defined, the path, and then some places the grass has almost overgrown it. Not sure what that pipe represents. Duck again. I will just do a quick visual scan for ticks after I get out of this. Not impossible you'd pick one up down here. More jungly here in this little bit. More like what I was walking through on Monday. But then it comes out into open land. We have successfully made it through the jungle. I don't see anything clinging to my legs or socks, so I think I'm okay tick-wise. There's Elphinstone ahead of us, and the horseshoe pitch. This is where the Regina Horseshoe Club hangs out. Well, I've never seen them here hardly, but this is where they play horseshoes sometimes, I guess. It's obviously maintained. Don't know when exactly. In more than a year of doing this, I've only ever seen anybody on the horseshoe pitch once. Horseshoes I always associate with the old guys when I was a kid visiting relatives in Missouri. So I would have been in the 60s. So it would have been people who were born in the 20s or teens or even earlier. I was associated horseshoe with them. It seems like a very old-fashioned recreation. I also associate it with the South, but it is. The other side of the sign says Regina Horseshoe Club and gives the contact information. All right, we will cross over. Regina Horseshoe Club, horseshoesask.ca, if you want to check it out. All right, West Sherman Park. Oh, baby carriage and a dog. That's a twofer had I been running some sort of travel bingo, which I totally could on these things. Or you could. I should put it on my website. Join me for a walk. Give away a free book to the first person who completes their travel bingo. You'd have joggers. Dogs. Dogs are too frequent. It'd have to be like specific breeds, or at least big dog, small dog. Or multiple dogs. Single dog, multiple dog. Joggers. Cyclists. Cyclists with helmet. Cyclists without helmet. I could break that up. Adult cyclist, kid cyclist. Another way to open that up. Strollers, like that one. I could totally do it. Totally. Probably won't, but I could. Now, how do I vary it up here? Do I just follow my usual path today? A little further, maybe I'll go a little further over and another dog. Two dogs, see? Bingo. I think of a couple of ways to vary it here. I think what I'll do is walk through the grass instead of crossing the bridge at this point. Go down, go over to the other side of Pasqua. Yeah, that's what I'll do. It's kind of a different shape to the walk than I normally do. Another dog. There's so many dogs. I'd have to maybe do them by color or size or something to make the bingo work. Here's the footbridge, but I'm not going to cross it now. I'm going to cross it, maybe not cross it at all. We'll follow this path today. Don't do this one nearly as often. not a formal path, it's an informal path, like the one I was just following a little further back, only less jungly, with the creek on my right instead of on my left, like it normally is at this point. A bit of a berm here too for additional flood control. You'd be able to sandbag up the gaps in it should the creek overflow, and there's not very high banks right here, so I'd be very surprised if there hasn't been water in this part where I'm walking now. In spring quite often, or at least occasionally. So far, nobody seems to be watching me on YouTube, which is unusual. I see a 1 on Facebook. But most people watch the replays, so it never concerns me too much. Good thing about on the live stream is that people sometimes say hi, and I can have a brief conversation, but I walk regardless. That tree has come down. Not going to recover from that. I'll have to come and clean it up. Looks like the trunk was rotten and down it went. A pump house over there. I don't know if that's where they pump out water to run sprinklers or what. Right over there is the pump house. Creek again opened up to my right. Aha! Even on this path, I am not alone. You are not alone. Truly, no one is alone. There are a few holes to watch out for along here. Morning. Hi. See the bridge from this side, which is different from our usual side. Often I go under it. Which in fact I think I'll probably do right now. In a loop. It's either that or I keep going up here and then walk back through that area over there, which I've also done. Decisions. But I think I'll stick to my original idea, which was to cross Pasqua Street here. Sometimes I walk over there, but I'm not going to do that today. Guess I won't be going under the bridge. But I very rarely show this view of the creek in the middle of this bridge. Looking towards Louvain over there. Unless I loop around. Maybe I'll do that. Making this up as I go today. We'll take the path down here, then we'll go under the bridge. Go down this other side of the creek. I think that's what I'll do. Right, so we'll go down here. Over there's Sask Express in that building. More dogs, another dog. Those are apartments I've walked by. Baseball diamond, and these canoes I think are used by the school board for school phys ed classes. Usually in the spring is when you see kids in the canoes. Maybe they do it in the fall too, I don't know. Alright, we will loop around here and go under the bridge we were just standing on. Pasqua Street Bridge. Cyclists dismount. No cyclist ever does that. Underside of the bridge. What I'm going to do is follow the path on this side now over to a point where I can peel off and go up to 15th, I think, and then take that home. I think is the plan. Morning. Creek from the other side here. Yeah, I should work out pretty good time-wise. Probably won't be a full hour today, but that's okay. I got things to do. When I'm feeling really busy like I am now, it's always tempting not to walk. And I probably wouldn't if I weren't live streaming as well. So the whole live streaming thing is largely my method of giving me motivation to walk. And even though at the moment it shows nobody is watching the live stream, if that's accurate, the recording will be up and people will find that later. So probably that's you right now hearing these words, since nobody seems to be watching the live stream, so you're almost certainly watching recording. Here's the pump house I pointed out when I was on the other side. I can never tell. Some mornings there's always water standing here, it seems like. Some mornings I get lots and lots of people watching the live stream, and some mornings nobody seems to be tuning in. I guess it's like they have lives, which is, how dare they? Why aren't they watching me? I'm on the internet. That makes me important. Me and several billion other people. I'm a YouTuber. Perhaps I should be a TikToker. Apparently TikTok has moved a lot of books if you happen to hit something just right, but pretty sure I wouldn't be able to tap into that. And my daughter keeps telling me, no, you don't want to be on TikTok. I don't know if she's right or not, but I don't really need another social media thing to worry about. I can barely keep some modicum of content going into what I've got. Because it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And it doesn't actually seem to sell books. So the time that you waste on trying to promote stuff through social media is probably better spent writing new stuff that might be the thing that people really latch onto and get you more book sales or work. Freelance writing. I stand ready to assist. If you need words written, contact me. You can do it through the YouTube channel. You can find my website there too. Link to it. Although it's not hard. edwardwillett.com. 2 T's on Willett. shadowpawpress.com is the publishing company. Those are the two main ones. Shards of Excalibur has its own website. E.C. Blake has his own website, but there's not. That's fairly static, that one. And I have one called wordsbywillett.com, which I'm just going to completely redesign. And because it's been up for a while and never scared up a single thing work-wise. So I'm going to repurpose it to promote ghostwriting, which is a very profitable sideline that I think I'd be really good at if I can find the right way to reach out to clients, potential clients. Because the people you want are corporate executive types who want to write a book but are too busy. They have ideas, but they can't actually take time to do the actual writing. That sort of thing. And I'm not at all worried about being a ghostwriter, not having my real name on a book. Not worried about that in the slightest. I've already written under pseudonyms, and one of them was supposed to be kind of secret, but it doesn't seem to be anymore. Adam Blade is the guy who writes the Beast Wars children's fantasy series, and I did one of those. He has a fictional biography, and probably most kids think he's a real person, but he's not. He's a bunch of different people. Same as whoever's name is on the Warriors books. Same company, in fact, working partners in the UK. Which I've auditioned for more than once and came very close to getting other series, but somehow it never happened. Story of my career, unfortunately. Opportunities come along. I seize the moment. I try to take advantage of them, and then something goes wrong. Not that I'm bitter. Much. I don't usually walk along this path either, so this is a variation. There's nobody in the playground, so I can walk through the playground, which I've never done at all because I don't like to point at kids if they're on the playground. What's the sign say? It must have a name, this playground. This Play On Playground has been designated as a project of excellence for meeting best practices in youth fitness through sliding, swinging, spinning, climbing, brachiating, and balancing. Okay, well, it looks like a modern playground. I would have loved it as a kid. My daughter would have loved it when she was in the can't we stop and play in that playground stage of wherever we went. But being 21 now, not as interested, although, well, maybe she is interested because she's in kinesiology, so that's probably that kind of research project, whoever's doing the research there. It's kind of in her field. This is the Neil Balkwell Center over here. Has the Regina Art Gallery in it, a small gallery. So back to this point, I'm at 34 minutes. Oh, that was a short walk down this side. So this will be under an hour, I think, for sure. Not really all that far from here home. I'll go down this way and cross Elphinstone and maybe go down the dike on the north side of the river. Oh, there's the same stroller we encountered earlier. AGR, Art Gallery of Regina. It's really just one room, this one, but has some nice exhibits. Don't come here as often as we probably should, considering we like art galleries, generally speaking, although recently I always feel like I'm being preached to in art galleries, as opposed to just studying and contemplating the art on your own. You are told what to think, what you should not think, why the person who painted it was wrong, if it's old enough, apologizing for them, their outdated opinions, all that kind of crap goes on. Mostly I think the panels that accompany art in galleries, unless they're just straightforward history, which they seldom seem to be, at least not in the current exhibits, are preachy and often deliberately obfuscatory. Hard to interpret, written in kind of a art speak. And obviously it varies from gallery to gallery and who's doing the writing, but I've certainly seen my fair share of them that just make me want to take a red pen and edit them. And probably that means I will never work at an art gallery, because I couldn't in good conscience write that stuff the way it's normally written. I can write anything. I could write it, but I would feel wrong to have done so. But let the bus go by before you cross the street. Pro tip. We're on the north side of the creek. Obfuscatory, I think must be a word, to obfuscate. So obfuscatory. That's how I pronounce it, if it is a word. Oh, there's our dogs we were behind earlier, but they're branching off. So the horseshoe pitch is right over there, if you're wondering, getting your bearings from where I was earlier. Nice breeze in my face now. I'll walk all the way back down to the footbridge, I think, since this is running kind of short, and then home from there. So we're getting a good creek walk on both sides of the creek, closer to the creek than sometimes when I was on that path over there in the trees, which you can't see it from here, but I like walking on gravel. The crunch makes me feel like I'm progressing. Sound effects. Oh, here comes a jogger. Bingo. I should totally make a bingo card. Don't know if there's any way to put it on the YouTube channel, though. put on my website. Download it, print it, walk along with me on any day. See if you can get a bingo. If you get a bingo, I'll send you a free ebook. Sounds like a great procrastination project. I'm tired of doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So there's where I was at one point. I walked by and made a point of looking at those flowers there. So maybe instead of going all the way to the footbridge, I'll go down up here and then I can walk up Garnet Street, take a look at the house I used to live in. There's a way down just up here. Well, that makes it a little shorter, but not much. See how those nettles that I'm always talking about not wanting to walk through are starting to turn into little fuzzballs to make more nettles. You don't want to walk through those with bare legs. Okay, we'll take these stairs down. I've only rarely come this way, so this is also a bit of a change. That's a new house. So when I first was in the neighborhood, there was one of the oldest houses in the neighborhood was down here. Probably the first house that had been built in this area, but it's gone now. Replaced by this big modern one. We have a nice deck there. Oh, that's not a deck. That's a flatbed with stuff on it. Never mind. Sure, they do have a nice deck. That's not it. I thought, I don't remember there being a deck overlooking the tobogganing bowl there, and sure enough, that's not what that is. So this is Garnet Street, which is the street I lived on when I first moved to this neighborhood. I lived up in the northwest for a couple of years, but I was probably down here by 1990, and then lived here till I got married in 97, so I probably lived on this street for about 7 years, 6 or 7. Ooh, little tiny dog. Oh, brand new and going up there. And probably replaced, I think it replaced some of the really little ones that were along here. Probably 2 of them. It's hard to remember what's there once something is torn down. Morning.
Morning.
Little dog, big dog. Bingo, bingo. If I do the bingo card, I'm definitely going to have to think about the dog situation. I've got roofing going on here, it looks like. So yeah, a lot of these did not exist when I lived here. It was much more older houses. There were 2 new, what seemed ultra-modern ones. Those 2 were there. And everything else was still pretty much an older house. And a lot of those are gone now. Especially like these 2. There was still an old house next to me, where this one is now. Because this is my old house that I lived in for many years and did a lot of riding in, shoveled the walk of. I rented it, but I think they sold it after they, another modern one down here that didn't used to be there. I have come this way before, but it still startles me how many of the old houses are gone. That one was there. Nice older house. Right, we'll turn down 18th here. I was in this house back when I lived here. I actually sang at the funeral of the man who lived here. And they invited me over to meet him before he died, which was one of the stranger experiences of my singing life. He was terminally ill. They were planning the funeral. He was involved in it, and I guess. And so I came to meet him. And not that long after that, I sang at his funeral. Just a little creepy, actually. The funeral was up at St. Mary's Anglican, which I've walked by more than once. A bit up to the north from here. Those are all new houses since I lived in the neighborhood. This area of the neighborhood. I still live in the neighborhood. I'll be there in 2 blocks, but. And this is Henderson Terrace, built in 1913. Heritage row houses. I will walk around this bush, which is much blocking the sidewalk and should be corrected. Henderson Terrace here. One of them's for sale. You'd like to live in a heritage row house. It's tempting to check it out and see what it's like inside. I don't think I've ever been in that, and my wife's always been interested. We wouldn't buy it, obviously, but this 18th here blends into Leopold Crescent, which takes us up to Italic, and then I'm just 1 block to where I stop on Angus Crescent. So almost done. It's been a very lonely walk from the point of view of online communication. Nobody has said hi. I like that house. Brand new one just a few years ago. And then this is an old one, which I also like, but it's been there a long time. This one, next one, I know the people that live here. Have been in there a couple of times. Their son, not that one, this one here. Their son went to school with our daughter, basically the same age. They went to elementary school together, and they went to the same high school, but they didn't have anything to do with each other. Not much in elementary, and not at all in high school, from all accounts. Got a hole cut there. One block to go. Heavy equipment down there of some sort. I wonder what that's for. Theoretically, they're going to be building our deck this week. They could be out there now. If they're not, I hope they show up soon. That deck was supposed to have been built back about May, but it didn't happen for one reason or another. Here it is August, and we're not even going to get to enjoy it before the snow comes at the rate it's going. Always seems to be the way with construction projects. We were supposed to have priority in the spring because we didn't do it last year. We said, okay, we'll do it first thing this spring. That way we'll be able to enjoy it this summer. Nope. Fooled you. I don't know what's happening to this house. It's empty and it was rented. We know it was bought by some sort of developer. I suspect it's going to get torn down at some point, which will be a shame. Because we knew the people that lived there. Like for 50 years, my wife's family had the same neighbors in that house. Okay. So I'll stop there. Thanks for walking with me. Subscribe, and bye.